Guys, we have a really interesting podcast here today. We're going to be talking about Chatbots, Facebook, and lead generation for investors, real estate agents. And this is a really interesting guest we have on here. So John Smart, they call him Smarty. You're going to realize why here in a second. Was in corporate for about 30 years. For the past 8 years, he was at the commercial department of real estate for IBM, working on Chatbots, online lead generation. And he jumped into single-family real estate just 2 years ago. He also runs 3 huge real estate networking events up in the Philly, New York City area. So John, hop on the call here. So let's talk about those events real quick and those clubs that you're running, because just in 2 years, you've grown some of the biggest real estate clubs up there. And then we're going to dig in heavily into your Chatbots and even do a visual breakdown and show you guys how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on, Connor. I'm all about, my whole career, I've always been about networking and pulling people together. So when I jumped out of the corporate world and went into real estate investing, I realized I couldn't do it alone, and I needed to be networked with people in the Philadelphia area to be successful. So I first started out with, in my own town, in our county, it's called Montgomery County, just outside of Philadelphia. I started the Montgomery County Real Estate Investment Group, and we grew it to 700 members in about 8 months. And in that membership, we had, a lot of realtors, investors from all over the area, title companies, and we would hold a monthly meetup in a restaurant near in town. I then partnered up with another investor down in Chester County, and we merged that up, and we started the Chester County Real Estate Investment Club. And then I started also attending. Nick Tang is a big investor in the Philadelphia market. He started the Philadelphia Investment Association. I helped him put his whole social media platform together with Facebook. So right now we have on his group, we have about 9,800 members. Chester has about 600 members, and then my group is growing very quickly on Montgomery County. And it's a great way to network, and I find a lot of my investment deals through those clubs. Wholesalers will be there finding deals, help me push deals around. I meet my cash buyers and so forth. And now as an EXPer, it's a great venue for me to be introduced to all kinds of agents all over the Philadelphia area.
Yeah, I'm shocked at how fast y'all have grown that. So, I mean, obviously, you've heard the saying in real estate, your net worth is equivalent to your net worth, guys. You need to be doing this. And so if you're interested in setting up a meetup, probably reach out to John. Now, let's talk about your background with IBM and commercial real estate and what you did there. And guys, we're going to do a demo of this. I was quite shocked. I just spent some time with John up there in the Philly market just a few weeks ago, and I was blown away. And so what he's going to show you today in this podcast is absolutely the game changer for real estate lead generation, and it can actually explode your business this year because it happens quick. It's a very immediate penetration into lead generation. It's not something that you're going to have to work on and season over the years. This is something you can start right now, and he can help you do this. So kind of give me your breakdown with what you're doing at IBM and how that translates to what you're doing now.
Yeah, so my whole career, I'm a technologist by heart. I was computer science right out of college. I started a real estate company for software way back in the day. I've been in this market for over 30 years. We sold our company to IBM in 2011, and we were part of what was called the Watson IoT division. You probably have heard of Watson because you can't not have heard of it, with the Super Bowl and the Masters. There are always commercials about IBM Watson. Watson is an AI platform. So I was in the AI space around buildings and real estate. So what I would do is work with our corporate real estate customers, and they were everybody from Starbucks to State Farm to the CBSs of the world that had tons of real estate around the world. And we worked with them on how to improve operations of that real estate, how to better invest in that real estate, and if the location wasn't operating, to performance, get rid of that real estate. So full life cycle event. So it was a natural, and about the last 2 or 3 years, we started to see the emergence of AI and chatbots. I'm sure if you're not familiar with the word chatbot, you're using a chatbot, you don't even know it. Nowadays, your doctor, your dentist, my spa, my wife's hair salon. I got my tires changed with a Texas. Actually, we have a Christian tire company now from Texas that just moved around the corner from my house, Connor. So got my tires changed serviced. And the chatbot, they sent me a confirmation text message, and then I responded, and then it came back with, hey, when I was done, it gave me a survey, let me reschedule or so. And that's all what a bot is. It's about a communication method, between two individuals through the messenger platform.
Well,
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely the way of the future on how business is going to operate because it's a leveraging of your time, right? Similar to how these videos are working while we're working for something else, that chatbot communicates for you while you're communicating with individuals that you need to be present for, which is actually where the money is, but it builds up behind the scenes. So let's talk about let's kind of talk about lead generation, because this is the big one for a lot of you guys if you're struggling with this, because the three things I see smarty people struggle with: number one, they can't generate leads; number two, they can, but they spend too much to generate those leads and they're not turning a profit and they get frustrated; number three, they're doing something that's not scalable. And what you're doing solves every single one of these problems for these real estate professionals. So let's give them maybe an idea of how a real estate investor could use this, and then maybe one on how a real estate agent could use this, and then kind of one that's for team builders. And then we'll go into a live demo. We'll share your screen so they can see a live demo of how this is actually working. And then we'll give them your contact information.
Oh, very good. Yeah. So as you said, lead gen is always the top of mind for both investors and realtors. I think I've tried the full gamut, jumping into this world of residential real estate. I did the full gamut that everybody does. I've tried bandit signs. I've done direct mail. I've done email blasts, ringless voicemails, throwing that all out there. But the one thing that became very clear to me was no matter how much you threw out there, it was all about being there first. Some of my best deals is when I found that homeowner and they didn't even know another realtor existed or an investor. And I developed that relationship and I was able to get the deal. So when I started thinking back, and then I saw a study that was called Speed to Lead. And the Speed to Lead study says basically as investors or realtors, we have a 395% better chance of getting the deal if we respond within 1 minute that person sees your marketing. So I don't care what marketing you're doing, 1 minute, you're going to have a higher success rate. That drops to under 120% if you respond in 5 minutes, and 38% if an hour later. Now, if you think about that, we can't be around the clock 24 hours waiting for them to respond to our marketing. We're in listing appointments, we're in meetings, we're sleeping. We all need some sleep. I need at least 6 hours of sleep. So that homeowner that's up in the middle of the night saying, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with this house? How do I sell my house in Houston?" And they land on a couple websites. You're sound asleep. How do you make it so that you're talking to them in that very instant? And the answer to that was a chatbot, because the chatbot's job is to answer immediately. So, you release it into your marketing programs, and all of a sudden, no matter where you are, the bot can start the conversation and pass you the lead when you're free.
I mean, think about what this is doing. I mean, you understand it, but for them listening to this right now, guys, this is going to eliminate really the need for calling centers, virtual assistants. What agents and investors have been trying to do for years is to have a 24/7 business, because we all know it's like doing a lot of, if you're doing, like carrot websites or online lead generation, you get leads at 2 a.m. when these homeowners are up late at night trying to stress out to figure out the problem. Now you can run a 24/7 communication business with them. Immediately when they opt in, it's a response. And really, if you do it the way that John's doing it, you can't even tell that this is not a real person responding to you. It's a computer chatbot, but it's actually seeming like there's a real conversation going, and it's getting the information you need so that when you're ready to hop in as a real investor to hop on the call with the homeowner, you basically have all the information ready to go, and their level of motivation. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about how kind of a basic setup, how this would work. So you're driving leads to your website or anywhere off of any traditional marketing, and then they opt in and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, so the way that the chatbot works, there's about 8 different ways that you could deploy the bot into your marketplace. Some of the favorite ones is obviously on your website. So you build a beautiful website, like you mentioned, Carrot. Great website for investors. Us EXPers, we have KV Core. So we have a beautiful website in KV Core. The first thing we do is put the chatbot right on that web page. So when they come to the web page, as soon as they're on the web page, it opens up, calls them by name, starts having that conversation with them right then and there, instead of waiting for them to fill in an opt-in form. We also then leverage it on social media. So on my Facebook page, for example, somebody hits the message me button on the Facebook page, the bot opens up, not just a standard open text message, or Facebook gives you a very rudimentary, response system. It's the actual bot talking to them. What's also cool is the bot will also work with Facebook comments. So if I do a social media post, for my cash buyers, for example, I'll say in the post, comment below if you're interested in joining my list. So they simply comment below on a Facebook post, and the bot opens up and starts adding them to the list or whatever I want to communicate. Some other favorite ways, it also works with SMS and email. So now when I send out an SMS, it's the bot going out, not just a dumb text message. And on an email, we can make the emails come alive through the bot opening up from that email message. And then one of my other favorite ones is QR codes.
Yep.
And QR codes have been around for a dozen years or more. They're making their comeback now because the iPhone and Androids of the last 2 years natively read QR codes. So I'm going to demonstrate for you this in a minute, Connor. I'll simply take my iPhone out. I'm going to point it at my digital business card, and the bot will open up. So if you think about the world of investments, realtors have signs, we do letters, I think about putting it a Bennett sign, a QR code. In fact, I had a deal last October where down in Philadelphia, I was on a telephone pole just doing a test with one of my partners. We put it on a telephone pole with 6 "We Buy Houses" signs. Now, what does a human do when they see that? An individual in the world, they point their camera at the sign to get all the phone numbers, and then maybe that night they call it. Well, as soon as they pointed it at, it started talking to them, and I got the deal. right? That's what I'm talking about, where, you just put it all over the place and let it do the work. Get me the lead.
Even just on your postcards, put a big QR code on the back. And actually, let's just do this right now. Let's see if we can share your screen, because I'm curious. I know people are curious. So let's kind of share your screen here and show them what we're talking about. Because if they've never seen this, it's hard for them to kind of create an image in their mind of what's going on. But when you see what we're about to show you guys, this is a game changer. Yeah, well, we're going to let him share his screen here. Give it a second. And also, while he's setting this up, guys, we're going to we'll probably put a couple of his chatbot links down there below, so you can click on one and actually start engaging with it and see how powerful this is, because it's going to actually communicate back with you, and then you can decide if you want to reach out to Smarty later. Okay.
There we go.
It's coming up.
You see the screen yet?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so what you're seeing here is we'll start off on the, I don't know which orientation you are, Connor, but on my right, looking at the computer, is my iPhone, and you see all my, I'm moving it around. There's my wife, beautiful wife. This is my iPhone. On the left-hand side is, if I just turn off my phone and turn it back on, that's what you're seeing on the image on the left. So this is what I call my digital business card. Let me play off the example how this works. So I had my meetup in Montgomery County on Tuesday night. We had about 75 people there. I had everybody open up their camera. So we open the camera, and then I simply point it at the QR code and see what happens on the very top of the card. You see Messenger open up. And what I'll do is let me just move it over in the middle so it's easier to see.
Now, if they do this on their computer, I'm familiar with QR codes, but will it actually work right now if they put their phone up to the link on the computer? Or does it need to be there?
Well, I have two different business cards. So I have one that's a QR if I meet them in person. And then if I'm sending them on the computer, like let's say I'm sending out a blast text message to a bunch of people, I have a QR shortener that I use. I use Rebrandly, and I have a little short URL, which is my business card. And I'll shoot that off to everybody via either in an email. I put it in my signature of all my emails and so forth. So that way it'll work through it.
Okay.
You see it says, it'll say, "Hi, John," or, because it's my phone, it's me, but it'll say, "Hi, Mary, glad we met. In case you forget who I am, here's my face." So I introduce me. I always have trouble remembering names, so I thought this would help. Let's swap contact information. So she says, "Get started." And then the bot's now going to start talking to her. You see him typing right there, the pro, it's Chatbot. The beautiful thing about Facebook is it already knows your email and phone number. So we have a one-click confirmation. That's my email. And then the bot's going to say, "Great, is this your phone number?" And then boom, I click the phone number. Now, of course, I could add a different phone number if I wanted to call something different. So in the system here, the bot is collecting all that data. And then watch this. Then the hearts go up. People love this. I did this to an older lady at my grocery store, and I got a listing appointment next week with her. She asked for a business card. I said, "No, it's better yet to scan my phone." She absolutely adored it. And then there's also a share button. So back at the grocery store, see that little the button on the side here. If I just scroll down here for a second, that's a share button. So what she did was she actually shared my business card with 2 other neighbors. So I may end up getting 3 listings in this neighborhood, all from this
Wow.
woman just scanning at the grocery store. But in any case, I have all the data here, and what I allow them to do is download my V card. So if they want to put it in their phone book, they click that button, and now they have my contact information in their phone book. What it's also doing behind the scenes is I use Zapier, and my chatbot will work. What I do with Zapier is I automatically send it over to my KV Core, my CRM, that contact information. And then what I also do is I pop it in my address book on my iPhone. So now I have that person's contact information right on my iPhone if they call me back. And then I also give them the ability with Calendly, if I click on this schedule a call, I've integrated it. This is what happened at the meetup. So at our meetup on Tuesday night, I had probably about 40 or 50 people scan my card. I went to bed that night. We got back around 11:30 at night, went right to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, I had 6 real estate agents put 30-minute schedules on my calendar this week to talk to me about EXP. Because at the end of the day, I met them. I gave them the ability to see the details. And if I say check calendar, you'll see Calendly comes up. And then they just go in and say, yeah, I want to have a meeting with Smarty on Tuesday at 10 a.m. We'll confirm that meeting, and boom. And that's what that lady did at the grocery store too. She booked the listing appointment for me while I was sleeping that night. She was so excited about this card, right? And it confirms it. So, but what I wanted to show you is you can share anything with the digital business card. So I share my social media with folks. I share my EXP with folks. And I also share my chatbot with folks. So they can learn about the chatbot. They can see a demo, send them a free ebook, a PDF. But let me just show you for those EXPers on the phone, learn about EXP, join our team, or buy or sell houses. I built a bot to learn about EXP. So the first thing says, great, we love working with real estate agents. Are you experienced or new? I'm an experienced agent. Perfect. We always love top agents and brokers coming over. And now it's going to give them an experience where it starts talking about, how I moved over to EXP. I was introduced. I thought there was something better out there. And it's going to start giving me information about the organization. And if they want to learn more, they simply say, learn more. Now the bot's going to start presenting a menu where they can explore the many benefits of EXP. And then each of those benefits, it'll give them the ability, and I have a little fun with them with little Diffie in there, if you're a top agent. And then I give them the ability to connect with us right away. So if they want to, hey, I want to talk to somebody about EXP, or if they want to explore, they could say main menu. And what the system's going to do is show them the 8 main benefits of working for EXP. And I put it into a menuing system. So in this particular model, it's going to start showing, what we do on the cloud, our rev share. Here's like our core values, our technology. And I'll go over our cloud campus. And they could actually go into the cloud and see they can see a walkthrough of the EXP cloud right from their phone. I talk about insurance and stock plans and revenue share, training, and finally express offers. Now, each one of these, as they go in, it'll then explain it and then give them the opportunity to take next steps, which would be attend a one-on-one session with me, maybe go to one of your Zoom meetings, Connor, on the weekly learns, and talk about how it's, Blockbuster, Netflix, express offers, what it's doing with traditional. So you can see the interaction.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, think about what our competition's doing. They're sending a video by email saying, watch this video. And then they never know if they watched the video. And you're getting all the information to them live time. You know if they're engaging on it, and you're getting them to a one-on-one personal consultation. So when we were up in Philly just the other day, 2 full-time capping agents joined Smarty's team just last week because of the skill set he has. No wonder agents are wanting to join with him, because he has this ability to help them grow the organization, which if you guys understand the EXP business model, it's tough to set an appointment, and he's getting 6 appointments set automatically to sit down with them. We're not sending spam to them. We're not sending a video for them to watch later. We're getting them the information that they need. It's not a ClickFunnels landing page. This is a bot that's getting all the information, as well as setting a lifetime communication process through the Calendly link with Smarty for him to go in and talk about, what he does with his team. So that's pretty cool. I think we can all agree. So What about how an agent could use this not just for their agent traction business, but what about you mentioned sometimes you're taking your listings and picking up buyers clients that are not represented, and you have an opt-in instead of a sign-in page. Because we know if you guys ever are building an email list or filling events, it's hard to get people to come up and sign in. And then when they do, they give you the wrong email or it's misspelled and you're getting misinformation. So we talked about how you were picking up extra buyer leads the other day, which I think would be interesting for some of these agents that listen to this. But how would that work?
I go to the background here and just I'll move this phone all the way over. This is just my platform runs on a platform which is called ManyChat. And if you look at some of my capabilities in the bot, these are all the different folders. Some of my favorite ones, like one of the ones you're talking about, there's two primarily. One is like the Facebook Marketplace. If you think about that experience, it's a great place to find buyer leads and renters. You know, you put a listing up there, and if you're not familiar with this, but the Facebook Marketplace is built on Messenger. So when they see a property, there's always a button for them to push to say, is this property still available? And that's going to send you a message through Messenger. But in reality, what most people do is they'll put a property up there, and within an hour, you may get 100 people pushing that button. And then what you have to do, if you don't have a chatbot, is you have to manually respond to those 100 people back and forth, back and forth. What we do is we put the ProEdge chatbot on top of Marketplace. So when that person clicks the button, the bot starts talking to them. Now, what does that do? It takes all the tire kickers and throws them out. Finds out if they're just pushing the button and not serious. So it may whittle that 100 people down to 6 that you really want to talk to. And then it gets their qualifications, make sure they're qualified to buy the house or to rent the place. And we could have landlord questionnaires and stuff sent to them. So that way you're saving valuable time as a realtor or an investor that's marketing on the marketplace. The open houses is fun. You'll see the open house folder over here. In the open house, we have the ability to promote the open house through like a social media ad, maybe a Facebook ad to get people to come to the open house. And then we built particular flows for checking in. So we put a QR code inside the house. So when the person comes in, instead of having a manual sign-in sheet or so, they just point their phone. It just verifies their phone and email from Facebook. So we know they're not lying because it's coming from Facebook. And they're checked in. And then what the bot's job is to get a rating. So a couple, when they walk out of the house, the bot will talk to them again and say, what did you think of the house? You want to put an offer in? And then we give them a 4-hour follow-up to make sure, hey, at the end of the day, you came to the house today. You have any other questions? You want to talk to the agent? You're interested in seeing other houses? And it's a whole communication protocol. And if I just show you my dashboard, this is my investment page. Today, I have 586 homeowners and buyers interacting to my bot right now.
Today alone?
No, this is over the last, since beginning of January, and some of them are in different stages. Some homeowners said, I'm not ready to sell right now. Come back to me, and the bot's job is to keep them nurtured. The buyers that came to an open house, it's going to nurture them along the way. And you could just see the different tools. And then you could see from the other night, EXP explained, I have 14 people actually looking to schedule. 6 I already met this week, but I got a bunch more. These are the EXP Explained live events. They all want to come to your live event, Connor. So people are clicking on those links. You can see what runs a day ago. This is just 2 days ago that they clicked on that. So, the bot's doing its job for me. And then the key thing for a realtor and investor is there's an app on your phone. It comes with email, text, and then an app on the phone, so you'll never miss a lead. When somebody wants to talk to you, they'll jump in live. Here's where I have 130 live chats with different people, and I'm in the system just working with different people that have interacted with me, and the ability for me to, jump in live and have a conversation. And I could do this on my phone or, right here on the desktop, as you see.
Yeah, so I was like, how's John getting all these appointments for EXP? Because everybody wants to seem to work with them. So this is something that you can do, and you can. So guys, if you're not familiar with our model, John and I are partners. You can work with both of us. You'd reach out to John. He can help you set this up in your market, not just for your agent traction business, but for your sales business, doing these similar things. So how would that work? They would join your team, and then you would work with them to get this set up, or how would that work? And you can do this.
So what I've done, Connor, is I put together a complete comprehensive package with the ProEdge chatbot. The idea is to get a real estate agent or an investor up and running very, very quickly. It's a complete done for you bot. So it's multiple modules in here. So they go in and they get the bot. They install the bot onto ManyChat. They have to sign up for ManyChat. They personalize the bot. So up in here, in personalizing your bot, you can have fun. You give your bot a name. You give it a personality because you want to have fun. People love talking to bots now. And then you personalize it with your logo, your contact information. Investors and recruiters can get the bot ready to be deployed in a couple hours. And then you start targeting, all right, where do I want to focus my effort, whether I'm going to do Facebook advertising, Facebook Marketplace, am I going to put it email campaigns, put it on my website. And we have all the different trainings up here to give them, all the different ways to deploy it, whether you're doing websites, emails, comments. We make sure you're up and running very quickly.
Okay, so it's called the Pro Edge Investor Chatbot. And we're going to be actually doing a training tomorrow morning for our agents on how to use this because it is so powerful. What else? Is there anything that I haven't asked you about it that you thought is important to bring up? Some of the functionalities, or maybe that I don't know the right questions to ask?
Yeah. One thing I am focusing on is continue to work with our customers, that are using the chatbot. So these are a lot of EXP agents are starting to pull the chatbot into their business. Other investors in the Philadelphia area have been pulling it in. What my interest is to make this a world-class chatbot. I want it to be the #1 chatbot in the universe. I'm going to be doing language translations. I've already talked to my boys down under in Australia and in England to make it an English bot and so forth. So my intent is to constantly add capabilities. So as I get features, so I'm already talking to mortgage brokers, title company guys, insurance guys that are saying, can you build me a bot for that? As I call them, we're all chat botters now, the people in this group, I lean to them to say, what else can we do to bring more leads to you, make the bot more universally, helping you and saving time and getting you leads.
So for like your agents, you could create one for that they're working with buyers to send it to their mortgage broker and create a pre-qualification process all automated where they don't have to be involved.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow.
Book the title company, have it organize the interaction with the title company to book the closings and that sort of thing.
I mean, this is just basic.
I also have for those, I have an affiliate program if you're interested. And then I have all these other, I have a Smarty's cool sites and tools and apps. People are always leaning to me saying, Smarty, what CRM are you using? I have an awesome contact management system called Contact Plus that I use. I've been using it for years. The Evernote, as you know, as a ClickFunnels guy for sales pages. So I share those tools, and I even built a bot factory for you. So like I said, you always want to keep, you want people to have a personality. So I had on Fiverr, I had my designer come out with all kinds of cute little bots. So when your bot's introducing itself to the homeowner, it doesn't fake that it's you, middle of the night talking to them. It says, hey, and you create your own bot. I'm Eva, or I'm Tom's bot, and I'm here to work with you on your needs.
I mean, it's getting more difficult to create a differentiate yourself from the competition as credible in the marketplace. And when they see something like this, they're like, all the 3 other investors I called did not do this for me. And they're seeing this must be a highly credible company to have this much invested in their business because they've never seen it before. So they're like, this is unique. This is interesting. It's just going to make you stand out in your marketplace. What about, let's see. So how does this work with like a follow-up system? So like say, one of the biggest things that investors, agents, team builders struggle with in business is following up. Is there a way to create this with an automated email follow-up system that you put an email follow-up in place, but then when they respond to the emails or respond to it, it starts engaging on them again to set up another appointment direct to your Calendly link, or can that be done?
Yeah, that's a great question, Connor. So ManyChat, which is the platform that I built my bot on, is a phenomenal company. They keep adding different channels. As you see in my main dashboard, it already works in Facebook. It works on SMS and email. What I've done is if you go into my folder here, I built all kinds of sequences for motivated sellers and such. So I have a 52-week follow-up sequence with a motivated seller. as an investor, and I build them for buyers, for realtors, and sellers for realtors that will send out your curiosity. So you can say every 11 days, I want the bot to send out this message about closings, clutter, remodels, and I build all the interactions. And I get a lot of deals where I'll get the homeowner will talk to my bot 8 months later, and they remember the bot and they click on it and then say, hey, Smarty, I really appreciate all the, your bot's been giving me valuable information all year long. I'm ready to sell my house. So the follow-ups, as everybody knows in real estate, it's all about the follow-up.
Right.
And the bot can handle all that follow-up for you. And then some like EXP and KB Core does my emails and drip campaign, text messages. Of course, you could still stay with KB Core. The bot can integrate directly to KB Core. So when somebody comes in your bot, you talk to them for the first 24 hours in the bot, you pass that over to KB Core and let it do the drip campaigns and email. But what I teach is instead of doing naked emails and naked SMS text, put the bot in those. And that's real easy to do. So when they're in the bot and your KB Core sends out a text message and they respond, now the bot reopens the conversation, starts talking to them.
Right. So the easiest thing is just to get it directly from you, done for you. But how hard is it for, let's say, Homer Simpson or someone like me that doesn't know anything about this, that understands business and conversation through traditional email marketing and using the traditional route? How hard would it be for someone like myself to figure out creating a new question flow or conversation flow? So how would that work?
So I provide all the training as well as many chats used by millions of people around the world. They have an incredible training library. But to create a new flow, there's a big button over here, like little flow. You call it Connor's Flow. So over here, Connor Flow, I'll just call it. You create a new, it's like a canvas. It starts with a blank canvas. They put the first conversation there, the starting step. And then from here, I can literally just start dragging different, I want another message here. So after they respond, I'll say, hey there, hey, John. And then I'll say, how are you, right? And then when they push that button, then I'll go over and I'll say that if they respond, boom, right? So if anybody's ever used PowerPoint, it's almost as easy as PowerPoint. You're literally dropping objects on a screen, and then you're putting text in a box. But it's a lot more than that. So if you click on this, you'll see over here all the things you can put into a conversation, from text to images to cards, galleries. You saw the gallery I showed in eXp Realty when I was going through different menus. Videos. So when I give them a video walkthrough of the eXp Cloud Campus, I just downloaded that video and put it right inside the bot. So they don't have to leave Messenger on their phone. They can explore eXp World right from their phone. Audio. Files, I give them files. A lot of homeowners in my package, I have seller guides, buyer guides. I have an investor guide, how to sell your house in under 10 days. It's a PDF. So when a buyer or seller's interacting to the bot, it can deliver a PDF right to them in a good way to, as a lead magnet to get them engaged.
So it kind of operates kind of like if this, then that. So like you're standing in the shoes of what you're assuming the conversation will be. When they ask a question, you're giving suggested answers for them. And then they have different options that depending on what answer they make, right? So say they say yes or no, and then you set the response.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you look at like a more complicated flow, you'll see in here, it goes through a bunch of different steps, and then you can have condition steps. So over in here, if, for example, one of the questions, this is for a buyer engagement when they come into an open house, for example, one of the questions I ask is, are you an agent when you come in the open house? Mm-hmm. Based on what they answer, I'll go down one flow or another flow with a different set of questions. If they're not an agent, my next question is, are you working with an agent? And if they say yes, then I say, can you let us know who the agent is so we could follow up with them? And then this is what's called a user response. So I'm going to wait for them to fill something in. But if they're not working with an agent, then I just go back down through. So and then you could have buttons. So book a showing, connect with us. So these are interactions to make a phone call. The bot can actually dial your phone number from the bot. So, if the person's in the bot and they want to talk to you directly, they push the button and bang, your phone's ringing.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. So this is basically eliminating the virtual assistant process. But it's like the fulfillment side, just the time management side of, doing all this is just completely eliminated. So what's cool is that this is setting appointments for you while you're doing other activities throughout the day. And yeah, so like what would this cost just for like the setup side, not what you're offering for your side, we can talk about that, but like what would it cost just for like the basic ManyChat setup if they were to go try to do this on their own, and then kind of give an idea of what you do and what you offer for them?
Yeah, so ManyChat is a phenomenal platform. So anybody can sign up for ManyChat. They start out with a free account that has some basic capabilities, like I'm showing here. They have more detailed with the pro account. You get the sequencing for follow-ups. You get rules, other growth tools like QR codes. So but at least start with the pro or the ManyChat Pro account. Now that is 500 subscribers for $10 a month. So it's a very minimal investment. And what you do is you basically get a blank system and you start building flows. Now, you can start there, and if you want to play around with your own flows, start with the pro. But if you don't want to do it, or you're ready to get started tomorrow, if you look at me, what I've included in my package is I built over 338 flows in this package, 10 rules and 17 keywords. So what I've done is, I'm saving you about a couple thousand hours of development and thought in building the bot out of the box as a starting package. And my package is something that is 100% customizable. So you may not like my questions. You can start with my package and change it to do what you want, but you're saving that time from instead of starting with a blank canvas.
Right. So he's giving you a foundation to hit the ground running day one and to build off that foundation to personalize it for your own individual business. So yeah, so for agents, investors, team builders, information, those of you guys who have information courses or the membership sites, home study courses, filling events, meetup groups, this is the game changer for everybody going forward. And so the people that are putting time into this are getting an edge on their competition. So Smarty, we're going to put some links below this video so they can reach out to you and get access to your courses. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of leave as a parting message and drive them to your clubs if they're in your local market, or if they want to set an appointment to sit down with you and myself about potentially what we can do for them with EXP? And
well, what I'll do is for the links below, I'll give you access to the link to our the page where you can get all the details about accessing the bot. And then I'll also throw in there my digital business card. So I'd love to connect with you. So click on that URL and talk to my bot just like you saw. We'll exchange emails and phone numbers, and you can book an appointment with me right through the Calendly link, and we can have a conversation. But I'm really excited. I think you and I partnering, Connor. I see you as the video guy. I was following Connor at Investor Army before I even knew about EXP. You've always dominated video, and with me, Chatbot. And if you think of the world we live in, Mark Zuckerberg at his international conference at the end of 18 or end of 19, he made the statement that the 2020s is the decade of video and personal messaging. Mm-hmm. In fact, it was the first time in history Facebook Messenger has exceeded use of all other social media platforms, and it's going to exceed it in 2020. The time of interaction with personal messaging, private communications, coupled with video is going to dominate the marketplace, and you need to be there as an investor and realtor.
I mean, I'm already getting anxiety. Just you show me all this. Like during this podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can do that. I can just like a million things running through my mind, just like I know a lot of you guys are right now. So guys, reach out to Smarty, click his links below. Let's get going. Other than that, like I'm probably going to have you back on here, John, a couple times going forward every so often. Are you doing a little monthly membership or like a, so like, for example, I do the social strategy mastermind. We teach agents how to build video brand, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Are you doing anything like that for this where you have a little membership site, or are you thought about that? Or I think it'd be a great idea.
So when you join my ProEdge Chatbot team, you get access to my private Facebook page. We have a members page where we share a lot of ideas, and we're actually going to start our first Facebook Live this week for those members, for people that have listings and open houses and stuff. Every week I want to share different sales plays and stuff and marketing plays for the customers. So yeah, that's going to be an ongoing living thing.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. And so that's already included with what you're doing. That's not extra. Wow.
That's included.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cause I mean, a lot of times people get a course or get something or get a product or service, and then they don't move forward with it because they don't feel like they get enough hand holding. And so that's going to be great. You're going to actually help them get from A to Z. Other than that, man, looking forwed to come back up to Philly and see you again. Congratulations on all
Absolutely.
your success. I have a feeling there's a B in front of Illionaire for you coming. This is cool. This is going to save a lot of investors and agents time. It's going to help them increase their deal flow. And I see a lot of people reaching out to you. So appreciate you, John. And guys, we'll see you
Thanks
on the
for
next
having
one.
me on, Connor, and look forward to having you up here again.
Okay, awesome.